All right, everybody. Finally getting the green bean a little bit. So I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. Pretty much just disassembling the engine. I'm gonna get the crank turned down. I see two connecting rods that I know have issues, and I actually just spun the engine upright, so I really can't show you. I'll show you the rods after I get them out. But two of the rods have the spun bearings. They got hot, discolored. I just saw one rod that's next to it looks a little bit discolored, so it may be three rods. The other one doesn't look so much as it's discolored. I don't know. I'll have to look at it better when I get it out, but I'll share that with y'all when that time comes. But let me see. So you see, got my tripod here. So there's the engine. Of course, there's GreenBean. So I'm gonna take this thing off. You see, I started taking the timing cover off, and I have regular timing cover bolts in it, and I got that thick aluminum Cloys timing cover that I ordered. They may even be here. I think I got them in the mail, but the Allen head bolts for that. That way, right now, when you try to turn it, you can't put anything on it except for like a half a turn or a third of a turn type of deal to get the bolts loose. It's a little pain in the butt, but anyway, I'm gonna start taking this thing apart, and I'm gonna share it with you all, and you can kind of see what's going on inside this thing with me. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah, I hated putting these bolts in here because they're not quite right, so I did order the other ones. I saw something in the mail that may be those. I just have to get them, but yeah, this is a little tedious stuff here. This is like, oh my god. I'm gonna show y'all inside this engine here in a second too, because I want y'all to see the copper. When I initially took this thing apart, I didn't see any metal in it. It looked clean, but it was kind of getting dark, and I didn't get any kind of sparkle, you know. But when I come out here in the daylight and I looked at it, I noticed the copper that's down in here from the bearings. And I've been thinking about what the issue may have been, you know, what caused the spun bearings. And I do know that my oil pressure was good. My oil pressure, even up until I last cranked it up, the oil pressure was good. Kind of weird because of the spun bearings, but they were. I mean, it was. So what I believe it was, when I was at the track with it, you know, I run the 684. That was when I bumped the timing up, and I believe I set the timing up as high as 40. And it may not have been an issue there, but it did, if you listen to the video of it, it did do a little pre-detonation, I think, at that time. So with that being said, it may have begun to hurt it then. I don't know. Very possible. But after I got it home off the trailer and all that, I went for a drive in it. And it seemed like when it detonated before, when I was at the track, it was at a somewhat lower RPM. You know, it stalls at 5. So I believe it was somewhere around 6, 65, something like that, that it was detonating. And when I'm out here driving it, you know, I'm kind of up in that RPM range a lot. Not, you know, when I'm at the track, it kind of goes past it. It goes on up to about 7,500 when I was revving to. But I think that when I was street driving it is when the actual damage occurred. Like if I turned the timing down after the track, it may have been all right. I don't know. So the next thing was my plan. You know, what am I going to do? Well, I've given that thought too, and I've been back and forth on what I want to do. And yeah, I went back and forth on what I wanted to do. See, this is the Cloys, the Cloys thing. You see it's got the cam button built in. It's adjustable, and I can't remember how many thousandths it is, but it's not many thousandths. And they say that you take it in until it stops, you know, until it's, then you back it off a quarter turn. So that's exactly what I did, and it seemed to work great. And oh yeah, but I'll take that loose in a little bit. I don't want to mess with this until I get the heads off. So I got to focus on getting all this off, and should be good. Let me see. So if y'all are out here building anything, if it's got any kind of, let me change this up here a little bit. 10, 5/8, 9/16. If y'all building something that's going to have any kind of, you know, lift to it, and you know, anything over, I don't know, somewhere in the fives. I think the last one I had 556 lift. So anywhere in that range and up. If you're planning on turning the thing in the RPMs, you know, like over 6 or 65 or whatever, stud girdles. Stud girdles are pretty much mandatory. My nephew, he broke a rock arm stud. He had 3/8 studs, I believe, at the time. I have 7/16. But when I saw him break rock arm studs, he talked about putting stud girdle on it, and I said, you know what? Before mine breaks, I'm gonna put the stud girdles on it, and so that's what I did, and I haven't had a problem. But what it does, it stabilizes your valve train, so you're getting the full potential of the lift of your cam. Because otherwise, the rocker arm studs are giving, so you're not going to get the full lift because it's taking the lift away as the thing pushes. Yeah, stabilize it, and I noticed it revs a little easier. It just like everything kind of relaxed and stabilized, and everything was good. So I definitely recommend stud girdles. Man, this thing looks clean without the purple. All right. Just so I can get these push rods out, then I'll focus on the head bolts. While I'm thinking about it, let me show y'all. I don't know how well you can see it, but you see the copper kind of down in here. See that copper over here, up here? Yeah, that's the copper from the bearings. Otherwise, it's pretty clean inside this thing. But I mean, it's not like it has a lot of miles on it anyway. But yeah, it's pretty clean on the thing. But and I'm hoping I don't find any other issues. You know, you never know. And I just hope that everything is okay inside this thing other than these rods and you know, something where I can just get bearings and keep getting it, you know. But I do need to, I'm gonna take it apart, clean it out, make sure everything is, you know, good and clean. I don't need any trash getting into any new bearings, and go from there. But if y'all, I don't know if y'all can see them or not, but these are steel. These are steel rocker arms. They are 1.5 on 7/16 studs, and I forget the brand, but it was the like PRW or whatever. So it's not like a high-end, expensive, whatever type of deal. I just gotta check everything, make sure that no metal went through and hurt anything is a big thing. But I got a piece of something right there. Piece of bearing. Yeah, it's gonna take everything apart, clean it, inspect it, and see what that looks like. Oh, the push rods are the thick wall Manly, I think. I think they're Manly push rods, I believe. The heads are the Brodix Dragon Slayer 225 heads. For a 400, I think they're pretty good. You know, if this is, crap, I can't even talk. If this thing was stroked to, you know, 421, 427, 434, I think a lot bigger head, you know, this thing would have benefited from. But I think for the 400, I think it's okay. Get out of there. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way, idiot. Tell me. Wrong way, idiot. So anyone have any questions about anything, just ask me. I have no problem with sharing about what I'm doing, what I have, and you know, I'm not all secretive. I'm not a grudge racer or whatever, so I don't mind sharing my combination. I'll tell you that it's a Eagle internal balanced 400 crank. It's got the max stroke Eagle H-beam rods, Icon forged flat top pistons, the premium forged flat top pistons, and what else? It's all balanced, which now I'm getting ready to get the journals cut down. I don't know how much they got to cut down, but you're gonna get them cut down. Hopefully it's just 10,000ths, but I don't know. Oh my God. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Ah. I'll take them out after the heads are gone off. Wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble. Alright. So now, what do we got? We got I think that thing was 9/16. half. And I'll take all these off too. Thought I could do it with the rock arms on it, but I was wrong. Looks like to clean them anyway. All right, now let's see if we can do this. All right, there you go. What it's doing. Yeah. Whew. All right. 9/16. Let's do the. No, it's a half one. Ah, missed one. Missed one. How'd I miss it? How'd I miss that, y'all? Missed another one. Why didn't y'all tell me? All right. Make sure I keep the washers with it. I don't need to be losing the washers. But yeah, I thought about putting these heads and the cam in the 350, and I chose this cam because my intentions was to do just that originally. I knew I was going to do the 400 at some point, so I chose a cam that it actually says good for 355 to 406 cubic inch. And I had a 355, and this is a 406 cubic inch. So that's why I chose the cam. Oh, it's already on there. That's why I chose the cam that I have in here. And yep, it's all of them. So I think that if I were to use this cam and on that 350, I think it would be a good deal. But I just don't know if it's what I want to do. So when I pulled the plugs out, the plugs were there's a weird swirl thing going on here. Let's all look at that. If you look, you see like a swirl. Isn't that pretty cool? I would say it's good. Let's see, this is I think it was 6. No, it wasn't 6. It was this one. So 7 and 6. Yeah, 7 and 6, not 5. 7 and 6. These were the two. 7 and 6 were the two. Yeah, 7 and 6. Those were the two that had the spun bearings. But I don't think this thing was running. I don't think this thing was running too rich. It may have been, and you know, I kind of hope it was. I hope it was running a little rich before, and that may have allowed me to run it with the timing I was at first because it was kind of rich. But when it started having its issues, I think that's when it started running rich. Maybe something about the engine speed was a little slower or something. I don't know, but I think it was running rich after the fact more than when it was no problems. Whew. All right, this is something else I'm going to show you. If you look here, these are the tiny little holes that come in these gaskets for the 400 to get water. This one, that's a bigger one, but see up here is the main one. That's where it's really going to come up. So what I'm going to do next time with the next set of gaskets is I'm going to drill these out. I'm going to drill them out bigger because you can see the hole underneath. See the hole underneath there? And look at this tiny little holes right here. So I'm going to drill them out bigger to get more flow, to keep it cooler. Man, some sludge in there. That thing was nasty. Whew. I wish I could reuse them, but there are used ones only. You see, I'm putting my stuff over here on this little thing here. Anyway, y'all see what I'm doing. I'm gonna cut this off. Let me turn this thing around and put it on my face, not my chest. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna cut this thing off, and I'm going to finish pulling this thing together. If I get to a point that I see something that I want you all to see, I'm gonna make sure that I cut it on and let you see it before I get any further. But yeah, I don't want to keep taking up the time of this, and y'all are like, oh my God, what's he doing? So, oh, you see my flywheel sitting down there too. Oh my God. But it's unbolted, but I couldn't get it out of the engine stand. But that is an SFI approved flywheel, or flex plate, I should say. My balancer, it's over there too. My balancer is SFI approved. So that way, you know, running 10s or whatever, I'm good. Maybe even in the 9s. I'd love to get this thing in the 9s, but I don't think this combination is going to do it. But maybe I can throw more gear at it. Another thing too, I'm going to change my timing, the cam timing. I'm going to change that. Right now I have it degreed in a 2 degrees retarded of what it was. I don't remember what the numbers was, but I set it back 2 degrees, trying to get more bottom end. But I think the 400 has enough bottom end. I think I want to, no, I advanced it. I advanced it 2 degrees, I'm sorry, for the bottom end. I think I'm going to retard it back to straight up and down on the way the cam was ground, and go with that to give me a little more top end. I think that's something that would help me, especially with the 456 gears. If I was running 410s, maybe it would be better and it's not turning as much. I don't know. But with the 456s in it, I think I'm going to take it back to have a little bit more top end. So anyway, we'll figure that out when the time comes. I'll be degreeing it and all that stuff anyway, and I'll try to do that with you all watching. So anyway, I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to continue knocking this thing out so I can focus on that and get it done, because daylight's kind of eh. And anyway, I'll talk to y'all soon. Alright, so I'm back, of course, you see me. Anyway, I just want to show you, I took it apart, got everything apart, and I'm going to show you what the rods look like, the color of them. So you see, this is 1 through 4 right here, and this is 5 through 6. I mean 5 through 8, I'm sorry. So if you look at 7 and 6, so 7 and 6, these are the two that had the spun bearings, but this was on the journal, same journal 6, and this is on the same journal at 7. So 8 and 7, 5 and 6. So you see how that got hot also, just like this one did. And let me see the bearings. Now the bearings on these, like the more forward to the, well, that one looks a little messed up too, but I think it was 5. The bearing was shrinking, like it was too small. Like when I undo the bolts, it just falls out. And 8 was still had tension on it, but you can tell it had gotten hot. So this one, I think this one was actually about to spin. So this one was the next one to spin if I kept driving it. And it was still running. It made a weird noise. It wasn't a knocking noise. It was a weird shearing sound. I don't know, it was weird sounding. Anyway, I'm glad I stopped driving it, because I never would have made it home, I don't think. I think I would have blew it up. So, you know, technically this was kind of blew up, but it was still running. But so I'm going to get 4 rods. And that's going to be, I swear, about another $100, $150, I'll get a whole new set. I might do that. I don't know. And just keep these as backups maybe. Who knows? But, so I have these. All the pistons good. The cylinders are good. Some of the crank bearings was down to the copper a little bit. So I think I'm going to go ahead and turn everything. Turn the rods and the mains on the crank, and just get all new bearings for it. And you know, all the rings and stuff are all still good. I was worried about that. Shouldn't be an issue with the rings. But anyway, that's all I wanted to show y'all what it was, and just let y'all know. Here's all my engine paraphernalia in the tub. A nice clean tub, you see that. That's my balancer. My crank is over here, right there. It's my crank, but I have to I gotta get the gear off the front of it. But yeah, so with getting that took care, getting the crank took care of, getting the 4 rods, I gotta take it to the place, let them turn the crank before I really get the bearings. I gotta know what, you know, how much under the crank is going to get turned. But once the crank gets turned, then I get the bearings, the rods, some more gaskets. The damn head gaskets are $100 a piece, but it's all right though. I mean, it's worth it. I definitely wouldn't use the same ones, especially those what do you call it, multi-layer steels. Yeah, I think I gotta get those new. The other thing I'm gonna show y'all, these are I gotta get that one mounted. It's not mounted yet, but these are Del Sol seats. But when I sit in them, and I think I gotta try to lower it. Let me see. Yeah, there and there. What I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna try to lower it like another inch, because right now it just sits up a little bit. And I think what I'm gonna do is, when I put the track all the way back, it's just a tad bit more than I need. But if someone else is, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't worry about that. Maybe I should just weld. And what I did, these are the frame, the brackets for the S10. They're there. The Del Sol seats, I had to unbolt, do a little cutting to get the brackets off the bottom of these. And then I used some steel. I used like a small C-channel deal, and I cut pieces of this off, like, you know, like that much of it off or whatever, drill the hole, and I had to cut some of the C part off to get it to go flat. But I have that with the holes bolted to the bottom of the seat, and I set that on the frame of the S10 brackets, and I tacked them in. So now all I got to do is take the seat out, unbolt the from the bottom of the seat, so I just have the brackets there with the C-channel tacked to it, and then I can fully weld them on. I'm thinking about lowering it, but it might be all right. I don't know. I don't want to be too low in the truck, but I don't know. Anyway, I got to get these in, position them where I'm going to position them in order to put my roll bar. I got a 8-point roll bar to go in it also. So out here, and I think it's starting to get rusty, so I need to do something with that for sure. But yeah, I got the 10-point roll bar going in it. I mean the 8-point, I'm sorry, 8-point roll bar, not a cage. So I'm gonna have the main hoop going up, down by the doors, some extra ones kind of going back to reinforce inside the cab, in the back of the cab, and then the bars going back to the bed. And the shell doesn't have a window in there, so that's gonna be okay. I'm not worried about that. But I'm gonna take the back glass out and do that. I wish I could like cut holes in the glass, but that thing's dirty too. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so I'll take it out, measure, cut some plexiglass or something, put in there. I gotta see what the best thing to put in there is gonna be. I don't know, plexiglass or something else. But so I got some things going on. So the engine running is, one thing. That's the major thing. But getting the seats in, getting the roll bar in, and I'm gonna try to figure out some ways to get some weight off this thing. I want to make it a little lighter, and I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna do that yet. I don't know. We'll figure it out. If anyone has any ideas on how to enlightening the S10, let me know. Body wise, maybe just some metal I can cut off inside the doors or something. I don't know, just something to get a little weight out of it, just to make up for the roll bar. But I do like that the roll bar is putting more weight towards the back. I think that's important. There's a little bit in the front, but it's going more towards the back. But also it'll stiffen it up some. At some point, maybe I do it a 10-point or 12-point. The bars up to the front and everything. I don't know. We'll see what what kind of power and all that, and if it's something I need to do. They say something about the X brace in the bottom too. That might be something I have to get the pipe to do it with, but that's another possibility of something that I'll do at some point. But for now, I think the 8-point roll bar. I got to redo my starter, the battery cables, because right now the battery's in the bed, but just behind the cab on the passenger side. And I do want to move it all the way back to the back corner. And I already have my switch mounted in the bumper, the kill switch, and which see it there. So it's already mounted in there. So once I do the wiring, I'll do the wiring for that to the battery, which the battery should be like right back here. So I'll do the, the hot, of course, is a short hot, but then the hot going from here up to the front for the starter. I have the wire, I have all that to do. Crimping tools, I have, the what do you call them, the lugs or whatever for the end, not lugs, but the terminal ends for it. I have that. I have everything to do it with. It's just a matter of doing it, and I will. I'll get it done. So, now that it's winter time, the engine's not running, whatever. It's time for me to do some of these things, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to knock some of this stuff out. So, anyway, just want to give y'all an update because I haven't done anything in a while. I could have left you on while I was taking the engine apart, but I knew I could just show you the things afterwards. But yeah, so bearings messed up. Oh, the other thing, the bearings, the oil, the way it was kind of moving forward, like it was worse in the back and kind of getting up to the front, being not as bad. The other thing was I used Royal Purple 5W30, and I was thinking because of the roller cam and whatnot that I would have been good, but there may have been too thin of the oil. Maybe I needed a heavier oil, at least like a 1030 or 1040, but I might go ahead and just run 1050 in this thing. I mean 2050 in this thing. That's what I used to run anyway, so maybe I should just run the 2050 and keep getting it. Maybe it'd be better protection for it, and I don't know, we'll see. So I have that to think about. I have the carburetor I'm looking at possibly. I would like to get another carburetor. I'd like to get like a 850 or something for it. 850 or 950. That's what I would like to get for it. But I think it was running good for what it is. And I know that the old man on Street Racing Channel, Old Man's Garage now, I guess, he showed that with his, he has a 421, and he was able to get pretty much the same power numbers between the 750 and the 950. And so that tells me that with the 400, maybe it doesn't matter so much, but I would like to have like at least 850. But with that said, it was running rich at some point. I can see the top of the pistons. They have some burnt oil, carbon, whatever you want to call it, built up on them, and I think it has something to do with running rich. I don't know if it was running rich the whole time or if it was something about when it was going through the issues of the spinning the rod bearings. I swear I think it was running rich then, but I don't know. I do remember seeing it sometimes. I saw black smoke when I crank it up. So maybe there's something, I don't know. I have to think about it. Something about the carburetor I got to figure out, the tuning of the carburetor. And I do remember seeing black smoke, so maybe it was running rich. And it's crazy because that 350, I ran it, jetting it up, watching the miles per hour at the track. And I kept jetting it up, and that thing was getting better and better. And it's like, oh my God. And that thing was just so responsive, and it ran really good. And now here it is, a bigger cubic inch. And it's like the carburetor is too rich for it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe the efficiency of it, maybe it's more efficient, so it's taking less fuel. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I have to research on that. But either way, I'm glad I thought about updating you all, and I appreciate y'all if y'all are still here watching. I appreciate everything y'all doing. Follow me, subscribing. If there's anything I'm doing that you feel to someone else that might be interested in, share it with them. I would like to do something with this channel. I don't know what all I want to do, but maybe I'll include the bike on it too. But I think this is kind of GreenBean's channel, so we're going to focus on GreenBean, I think. But I got to show y'all more. I got to do more for you all. So that's my plan. I like to do something like every weekend, just do some kind of video showing something. But I haven't been working on this thing. It's been sitting here, and I didn't want to bore y'all to death with just that. So bear with me, be patient with me. any comments, any ideas, any thoughts, whatever that you want to share with me, and I'm definitely willing to hear what you're saying. If it's something that you have experience with, any questions about the combination to compare to someone else's combination that may be helpful to me, I'm more than willing for that. It was running really good. It really felt good. Like I said, it ran the best of a 684 pump gas, 400, 406, in a 32 or like a 3150 pound vehicle. So I think a 400 turbo 350, 5,000 stall, 456 gears, and 275/60 tires on the back. Regular shocks on the back. It has the Calvert Racing 9010s on the front. So I don't have adjustable. They're all just basic shocks. And I got the lightest of the Moog replacement springs. There's 3 different springs for an S10. I got the lightest ones they had and put in it. It did lift the tire, at least on the driver's side, up just ever so, which is great. Anything more than that, I think I'm getting into a trying to keep it down type of situation. So maybe the long bed is helping with that. If it's a short bed, regular cab, maybe it would have been coming up a little sooner. But yeah, I'm rambling now. So let me stop my rambling and get off here. But yeah, so like, share, comment. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Old GreenBean's gonna. It's already going through changes, going from the 350 to 400. Roller cam, like a 640 lift roller cam, with a lot of duration. So I think it's 302 and 311, or 304 and 311, or something like that duration, at 50 thousandths. So not at 50 thousandths. Maybe it is at 50 thousandths. I have to look. That's a lot of. This cam has a lot of duration. 270 something to. I don't remember. I have to look at the thing again. I can't remember. But going through the transition inside, I'm going to remove the sound deadener. I'm going to keep the carpet in it. I'm going to remove the sound deadener. There's some things about the extended cab and metal inside the body I'm going to take loose. I'll cut it out. There's some stuff in the door I think I'm going to remove. The doors to get rid of a little bit of weight. I don't want to mess with the frame. But maybe the bumper brackets or something on the front, I might can do something with. I don't know. I'll figure something out, and I'll do something with it. But I want to lighten it up a little bit, but not make it unsafe, So anyway, y'all take care. I'll see y'all again. And like I said, like, comment, share with others. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. That's it. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. And let me turn this thing around. See your GreenBean sitting here. Poor thing. There he is. And he'll be going back again soon. Y'all be easy. Later.